In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy three-dimensional cartoonish gloss looking text effect. To do that, we kind of want a kind of bubbly script calligraphy type font. Just it'll look better, but it can be used on any font really. So go ahead and choose a font that you like, type out a word, and we will get started. So I'm going to just make a copy to have for my original text so that you can see the difference as we go. So first thing we want to do is add a kind of outline to our word. So go ahead and select the contour tool, and we want to do an outside contour, so you can play with the settings to kind of get the thickness you want. We kind of want the outline to kind of close off and connect into one solid shape, so you might need to adjust the distance between your letters in your text properties panel. But the other thing is, for the corners, we want to round the corners just to make sure everything has like a soft edge and there aren't any sharp corners. So I'm gonna bump this down. Yeah, I like that. So once you have your outline thickness set, go ahead and hit Control K on the keyboard, and we will give that a kind of a blue outline or blue fill. And for our font, we probably we'll go with this kind of medium pink here for the time being. We may change that as we go. The next thing we want to do is we want to add our 3D effect to the outline object that we just created. So with that selected, go ahead and select the block shadow tool, click and drag, and you just want to kind of play with the direction and the depth to the thickness that looks good for your word that you're working on. Once you have that, hit Control K. One thing is, make sure there was no outline or stroke on this object here, because it will create a kind of light halo around from the block shadow extrusion. Once you have that, we're going to give it just this darker color. Next thing we want to do is we want to kind of pop the original word on top, so it looks like it's on top of, like, extruding from this blue object. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate that by hitting plus on the numpad. We're going to give it a lighter color, and then just using the arrow keys, just nudge it up and over so it follows a similar angle as your block shadow extrusion here. And we'll just bump that up a little bit more. And so now I want to give this extrusion edge here just a darker color. So I'm going to give it that pink, but then I'm going to hit Shift 11 on the keyboard to bring up the the fill panel, and I'm just going to darken that just so it has a darker color than this exterior, this other extrusion here. Once you have that done, we want to create a overall reflection to the letters. So to do that, go ahead and select the ellipse tool, and you're just going to create a kind of horizontal ellipse that gives us a nice soft curve to our reflection. We're just gonna play with the placement, and yeah, we're going to maybe move it more towards the left since we're having a down into the left look. Once you have your placement of the ellipse object, just make sure you select that, then select this topmost word font object, and then we just want to use our shape tool here, or our Pathfinder tool buttons up here, and we want to intersect so we get a bottom, just the bottom part of the word here, and we're going to give it this a lighter color, like almost white fill. You can go ahead and delete the ellipse object, we won't need that anymore. And the next thing we want to do is, once you have that fill applied, go ahead and select that, and then select your transparency tool, and we're just going to give it just an overall gentle fading highlight look. Alright. Once you have that and it looks good to you, you can play with the strength of it. Like if you bring the white down further, you'll get a stronger edge to this kind of overall highlight. Now we want to give some kind of edge, like real hot spot edge highlights to the original font. So go ahead and select that font object there, and if you hit plus on the keyboard, it'll duplicate and give it just a white fill. And we want to hit plus again to duplicate again, and we'll just give it a different color. And same thing using the arrow keys, you just want to kind of nudge it down into the left until you get a nice decent amount kind of edge highlight. Once you have that, go ahead and select the black font object and hit Control Q on the keyboard to convert it to curves, because you can't, the next step you can't do when selecting two font objects, so one of the objects needs to be curves. So go ahead and select the black and convert it to curves, then select that white font object, and again up at the top in the Pathfinder tools, we just want to trim the black parts from the white one, and click that. Then once that's done, select the black object and go ahead and delete it. That'll leave you with just these kind of rim objects to simulate a very strong edge highlight to the word itself. The last thing, you could leave it like this and it looks great to me. The one other thing that you can do is give this lock shadow extrusion here a kind of gradient effect to give it a little bit more three-dimensionality. So to do that, just hit G on your keyboard, and then up at the top here, switch the fill to the fountain fill, and click on this white node here, click the node color here, and then click the eyedropper to select the same pink as the other side, and we just want to again just darken this fill color. Once you have the color you like, just change the direction of the gradient and play with how much of a shadow effect you want on the gradient. I just want a little bit. And one more thing that actually, yeah, once you have that done, you have successfully created a cartoon looking candy gloss effect. Thanks for watching.